Hello, good day. At this time, we're gonna discuss the self-assessment. Assessment is the fourth stage of the lifelong teacher training cycle. It is an essential stage that gives feedback to the student and the teacher on the progress of learning. Group work and constructive learning takes place when students develop a better understanding of their own subjectivity and judgment. Self-assessment is used to keep attack on student performance. Establishing their own assessment criteria increases student responsibility, thereby helping them to strive for a deeper approach toward learning, understanding the subject matter, and various skills involved the process. Ang assessment ay isang proseso sa pagkuha ng impormasyon patungkol sa katangian at kakayahan ng isang bata. Ito ay isang proseso na kung saan ang mga nakuhang impormasyon ay pinagsama-sama para maging basehan sa kakayahan ng bata. So what is self-assessment? Self-assessment is an assessment tool used by students to evaluate the quality of their work, measure their performance with the stated goals and learning objectives, identify the strengths and weaknesses in their work and implement revision accordingly. Ang self-assessment ay ginagamit sa pang-measure ng performance ng mga student, katulad ng pagtukoy ng kanilang kalakasan at kahinaan sa particular lesson o topic. Self-assessment practices encourages students to take ownership of their learning, promote responsibility, independence, and may also motivate further learning. It is a form of cultural shift which focuses on the quality of learning, student responsibility, and making judgment as a necessary skill to prepare students for problem solving and lifelong learning. At katulad nito, kaya siya tinawag na self-assessment because it helps to reflect themselves. Katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, to know their own strengths and weaknesses by the help of their teachers. How can it be practiced in classroom? Increasing student participation is the basic of self-assessment. Through self-assessment, students can identify their own skill gaps where they lack in knowledge, develop realistic goals, and focus attention in learning. Some useful examples of self-assessment are I can statement. This is a useful practice carried out by teachers. At the end of either every class or by the time a specific unit comes to an end, student list down various I can statements to explain what they are capable of doing as a result of the lesson taught to them by their instructor. I can statement, kung ating matatandaan, every end of lesson of topic na discuss ng ating mga teacher, they are asking especially sa mga subject na may kinalaman sa philosophy. The teachers asking a question of how will you apply the lesson for today to your life. At dahil na sa pamamagitan ng pagtatanong na ito ay nare-reflect at nare-relate ng student ang kanyang buhay o pang-araw-araw na gawain sa lesson na diniscuss ng guro. So katulad nga sa mga activity na nabanggit, it will help student to relate, evaluate, and measure their life to the lesson. Other examples are portfolio reviews, reflections, and recording oneself. Self-assessment can address specific skills in students. It helps teachers to evaluate on the potential of all students towards learning. So, this is the some advantage of self-assessment, and maybe first, personal growth. It is a result of the activities and areas of your life, whether personal, relationship, or communication skills. It arises from the need to evaluate yourself and identify your positive and negative areas. Self-assessment is para ma-evaluate and measure the life of student to the lesson by identifying their positive and negative areas. Second, exposure. Self-assessment helps students to identify their areas of self-improvement. This is process of exposing your strengths and weaknesses is not easy. It moves you towards self-development. Nalalaman ng student ang kanilang kahinaan at kalakasan na siyang magreresulta sa kanila ng self-development. And last is self-awareness. You take more active part in shaping your personality. Objective look towards how you behave and react at situations. Self-awareness, so you are aware. Self-assessment helps you to be aware to your self-personality. At one point, self-assessment proves to be very beneficial for students and teachers, but it might address some negativity too. First is subjectivity. It takes a very subjective look at your personality, the things you do, life experiences, and etc. A subjective rating is not enough to assess someone or a personality type. Kapag tayo ay mag-a-assess, iwasan natin ang pagiging subjectivity natin. Pagkus ay unawain natin ang mga sariling na may mga sariling kakayahan ang mga estudyante. Second is no accountability. The assessment begins with you and ends at your evaluation. It does not shape a path to change oneself, but in few cases, externalities might influences you to stay determined toward the change. Kapag tayo ay mag-a-assess, dapat nating siguraduhin na may iwan na kaalaman sa bata na kung saan ay lalago ito sa kanya sa pagdaan ng panahon. In conclusion of self-assessment, this is just another way to engage your audience in a combined learning effort to actively alter the perception of classroom environment. For instance, students can be given a task to self-assess their class participation in an academic year. This may be backed by a grade reward or percentage reward for the final year's performance. This is have proven to provide better academic results. Many teachers encourage such activities and involve students in collaborative learning to effectively manage classroom content and management. However, part of this assessment follow self-analysis, identification of strengths and weaknesses, with proper remedial action by teacher to help students at all levels. It is helpful to introduce assessment practices as a part of the curriculum in the introductory classes to prepare students before the applying a new strategy. Mahalaga na lagi nating isaalang-alang na ang pag-assess ay isang parte ng ating gawain bilang mga guro at parte ng ating estratehiya upang lalong magkaroon ng kaliwanagan sa bata at gayon din sa atin. Mahalaga ito sapagkat ito ay ang nagsisilbi nating connection sa kanila bilang mga guro. So again, I'm Mr. Rondelay Dizon. Thank you for listening.